And I got a break because I had it at 3.5, and he scored the touchdown at the end. Thank God for that.
Here you go.
It always comes down to that.
It always comes down to that. You're
The bottom line is-
degenerate.
the bottom line is-
Degenerate.
The bottom line is degenerate.
All right. Well, here we go. Another week. Last week, final week of the regular season. Closing off a hell of a year, a crazy year. A bad year for me. Impressive year for Flex. Tight race still. Flex 54 points. Word Life 52.5 points. I have 51.5 points. So everybody's right there within striking distance for the last week of the season. So all these picks, make them count. Make them count.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough to tell. A lot of teams with nothing to play for. A lot of teams, just playing for pride. We got contractual bonuses on the line. So got to be very, very picky with these picks that we make this week. So Word Life in the driver's seat here. Randy Moss. Salute to Randy Moss.
Oh, got cancer. I heard.
Get well soon.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so what do we got this week?
All right. So with my 1 point pick, I'm gonna go to Ohio with my pick, but I'm not going to where you might think. I'm gonna go with the Browns getting 20. It's just such a freaking huge number. How can I? I know what the Ravens still trying to make some noise, or they playing for something. I don't know what they're playing for, but it's still just too much, man. It's 20 points. I don't know, like at some point, you know what I mean? 20 points is just too much. It's just too much for me to pass on. Zappy is not that bad if that's true that he's playing. They got to have some pride, I'm hoping. And 20 points is just too much for me to skip on. So give me the Browns with my 1 point pick. With my 2 point pick, I am staying in Ohio. Well, I'm not going to Ohio. I'm picking Ohio.
This is where I think that you're going.
Yeah. So this one's tough though, man, because I'm really battling with myself, going back and forth. The favorite are the Bengals by 2. Pittsburgh is at home. Like, am I really gonna go against Pittsburgh getting 2 at home? It's tough, man. But fuck, I think I'm gonna go with what I have here, and that's Pittsburgh at home getting 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like we were talking about the favorites and everything. It's just the Pittsburgh. I think everybody's high. Everyone's selling Pittsburgh just because of those losses, and I get it. But they're a tough team, man. They coached well. That Bengals defense still sucks. Can they stop the run? Hell no. And that's gonna open the pass. I'm assuming, and Pittsburgh's gonna be right there. And it's honestly, this should be a pickle for me. But I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Hopefully, Bengals pull it out by 1. That's my 2 point pick. With my 3 point pick, I think I told this story to you guys off air, but I'll tell it to you guys on air. As I was doing my shopping, I encountered a very aggressive Detroit fan. Very aggressive, as I'm wearing my Randy Moss jersey now, and at the time I was wearing my LA Lakers hat, and he was so fucking confident and cocky. And I feel like I wanted to dive into the discussion. If I wasn't with my wife, I would have dove into the discussion with him. Like, you really feel this confident with all the injuries you're going through? I know you're at home, but are you really this cocky? And are you speaking for the old Detroit? Well, I'm taking it as he is, and I'm gonna go Minnesota, who have been forever. Nobody wants to believe in the last game of the season. Nobody wants to believe it. I'm gonna stick with Minnesota here, getting 2.5 at Detroit. I think they're the better coached team, that's full of both most balanced team. So, and Detroit's riddled with injuries. So give me Minnesota as my 3-point pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
At some point, those injuries have to come back and haunt them in some way, man, because they've been doing it, credit to them, but
right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start it out with a little on guard. I'm going to take Detroit.
Ooh, I like it.
The only reason I'm taking Detroit is just because everything makes me want to take Minnesota. The injuries, the short rest. And every time I've done that this year, the fucking favorites have covered. The favorites continue to cover. I'm gonna take Detroit. I don't even really have any reasoning behind it. I agree with your pick. I really do. But the only thing I could say is that I personally think if Detroit loses this game, I don't think they're gonna win a playoff game. I think going on the road, if they have to go on the road to start the playoffs, I think they're gonna lose. And I don't know. Like I said, I agree with everything you're saying about Minnesota. I feel like it's the right side. They have more rest. They're the healthier team. But I don't know, man. The favorites have just been covering. And as much as the other thing that kind of is sneaky to me about this is the fact that most of the bettors agree it's Minnesota. All the money coming on is on Minnesota. But somehow the books refuse to move this shit to 3 points. This shit has stayed at 2.5 points all week. And that's unusual to me. So with all the money and all of the kind of sharp ideas on Minnesota, for the line to not have moved, that kind of is suspicious to me. And again, I'm just going to go with the favorite just because that's just how this year has been. So, all right. So I'm going to take Detroit with my 1-point pick. 2-point pick. I'm going to take the New York Giants. They're not a favorite, but I think the Eagles want to lose this game. They've already kind of made it clear that they're not going to start any of their starters. And the Giants are not only still dogs, they're getting 3 points. I feel like if the Eagles, even if the Giants can't find a way to win this game, even if they continue with the disgusting coaching and playing that Brian Dable has brought us this year, I think they could still stay within 3 points against the Philly B team, the backups. I don't know. I mean, the Giants basically their A team is a B team of backups anyway, but I don't know, man. We don't know anything about who Philly is going to be putting out there. So I just feel like that is one of the clear, like there's questions about certain games. But I just feel like the Giants, it would be very much Giants for them to win this game and, fuck everything up the way they did last week. So, I'll take the Giants. I'll take 3 points for my 2-point pick. And then my 3-point pick, I'm kind of bummed out about this because I bet this game on Sunday. As you guys know, I've told you throughout the season that on Sundays right before the night game starts, I usually go and look at the look ahead lines to see if there's anything there that I want to bet. And the game that stood out to me right away was Rams-Seattle. Seattle was -2. -2.5. They were 2.5 point favorites. And I thought the Rams are not playing for anything. That line has gotten all the way up to 6.5, but I'm still gonna take it. I'm still taking Seattle. I'm not getting the value on the number the way I would have liked, the way that I did when I bet it on Sunday. But the Rams are already a very top heavy roster. Like, they already have all their resources allocated to a few players, and then the rest of their team is just kind of scrapped together. And as we've seen this year, when the Rams have big time injuries or their big time players are not available or don't play well, like, they can't even compete. They get blown out. They got blown out against Arizona. So I don't know. I just feel like Seattle, I know that they have a new rookie head coach. Gino, I know, has a lot of incentives that he needs to hit for bonuses in his contract. I think they want to finish the season on a high note. They can say that they got to 10 wins. So I just feel like this is a game. This is a preseason. This is a regular season team going up against a preseason team. The Rams are not going to try to win at all. Still giving less than a touchdown. I'm good with that. I would have liked, like I said, I would have liked it better at the smaller number. But I just think that this is. I don't think the Rams are even going into this remotely trying to be competitive, similar to the way I view the Giants and Eagles pick. So, yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle. I'm gonna give 6.5. That'll be my 3.
Nice.
Well, it's a bit anticlimactic, but we'll have chances to differ during the playoff run. But we're on the same page for a lot of things. And the first one, as you can see, I dropped my red flag earlier, is with the Lions. That 2.5. All of the things that you highlighted, that was the warning for me. It doesn't make sense considering all the injuries and considering how Minnesota just looked. You know what I'm saying? Like, even coming off a game, with the media darling Packers that they, pretty much handled. I want to say kind of easily, because it really wasn't a close game. Like, the actual way that the game played out, and still being and still for them to be underdogs against that Lions team that just blew out the granted they did blow out the 49ers, but they're still even more banged up now. So for that reason, that was his 1-point pick. It was unguarded against you, and that is also my Vegas Ain't Slick pick, who is 13-2. I've only lost 2. Nice. I believe I've only lost twice this season. So for that reason, I'm making it my Vegas Ain't Slick pick.
So Detroit.
And yeah, and a lot of these other my 3 picks are pretty much incentive based. Not incentive in terms of on-field incentives, like money wise, but the only one that is different from Bobby's picks is my 1-point pick, which is the New England Patriots getting 3. I believe it's still 3 against the Buffalo Bills. We've got Gerard Mayo that they said he's on the hot seat. Depending on how the end of the season
it's 2.5 now.
Yeah, so depending on I just think that he's still actually coaching to win, as opposed to, like, obviously we see how the Buffalo Bills are. They say that Josh Allen, he's not going to go in. And they took him out at the end of the game, and the praise that they were giving Josh Allen for not running in that touchdown at the goal line was just over the top. Like, the way that Tony Romo wants Josh Allen to win this MVP is pretty disgraceful. But and they're gonna play that up. They're not playing for numbers. They're gonna play that it's more important to rest and get ready for the playoffs. So I just think a team that's still playing relatively hard and a coach that's gonna, they do have their quarterback already. So it's not like, with Drake May, it's not like they're in the position, like for a team that needs, like, let's say the Tennessee Titans, that needs a quarterback going forward. So there's probably an incentive from higher up. Like Gerard Mayo's on the hot seat. I feel like the report was that depending how the rest of the season played out, if they got embarrassed, that they but the intention is, like, it seems like they want to keep Gerard Mayo, and I think Gerard Mayo can put this, like, beating the Buffalo Bills on the season record. So I think they play hard. I think and they did say that even though Drake May went out for a concussion last week, he still it seems like he's going to start. So that clearly looks like they're fighting to win this game. So as my 1-point pick, I'm taking the New England Patriots getting 2.5. For my 2-point pick, the other incentive is the Brian Dable incentive. I think the Giants win this game as well. I don't think that at this point, like, we don't even know if they're going to be in position to draft a quarterback anyway now. And at this point, I don't think that Brian Dable even cares if the Giants are in position to draft the quarterback. For all we know, he might be doing the Lovie Smith move where, okay, fine, you're gonna fire me after we're in position to get a quarterback. Like, I had to deal with all of this shit. No, nobody's getting the quarterback. If I can't play, nobody gets to play. So I just feel like he's that type of person. We all saw, like, with the Hard Knocks, how he was kind of like disinterested in, like, the way that Shane was kind of like handling the roster, and he did, like we said, he did want Saquon. So I just think that he's not on the same. If he indeed thinks that he's getting fired, I think that he's just going to go out guns blazing, and he's not going to make it easier for the next person to come in. So for that reason, and plus with the Eagles, sitting all their players, and even like the way that like Nick Sirianni, you can see he's the type of guy that's like, oh no, we're not going to lose to them so that they can get a quarterback that we have to play against next year and the years to come. Like, I can see Nick Sirianni actually putting that thought into his game plan, like the way that that he's conducting this game. So I just think the Giants win this game, and at this point, I don't even think Mara would, is against it. I just think that Mara's the type of person that he just, like, honestly, I think Mara is, even he would be like, oh, at least we have a better record than the Jets, or as good a record as the Jets. We're not worse than them. So it's like, even those things, I don't think that losing and tanking with the Giants this week is going to be that important to them, especially that they won last week. So give me the Giants as my 2-point pick. And again, we're on the same side for my 3-point pick with Mr. H. And I'm going with Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks, man. I know it's 6.5. I just think it's some of the stuff that he highlighted, man. Like, Geno Smith has about like $6 million in incentives tied into this game, basically. His yardage, I think it's $2 million. $2 million if he exceeds his career yardage. So I think he needs 186 yards to surpass his career high. So that's $2 million. I think it's another $2 million if the Seahawks and the get 10 wins in the season. So, for all we know, that this causes Geno to play worse. But I just think like what Bobby, like what H was saying, it's not so much Geno Smith. I know that Geno Smith's going to go out guns blazing, which might be a bad thing if the Rams actually had something to play for. But with all those backups in, and maybe a vanilla game plan, and the Rams having no interest in winning this game, I just think that Geno Smith, with all that money to gain, and all those incentives to play for. I think he shows out, and I don't think they apologize for it. And Mike McDonald's first year coach, I'm sure he doesn't care. He wants to get those 10 wins on record, and he can always say that that he beat the Rams. Like, this is part of a division record, so you can always put that up there. It's one of the first things that that they put up for coaches in division record. So I don't think they take their foot off the gas, even though they're winning this game. Give me the Seahawks as my 3-point pick, and I think I'm gonna be on the right side. We're both on the similar side, so I feel like I like where we're going there. Much to H's dismay, you know what I'm saying?
Let's start the draft.
So let's go ahead with the Giants.
Ooh.
I'll take the Titans.
I'll take the Bengals. Give me Dallas.
I'll take the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Patriots, and then I'm gonna take the Lions.
I'll take Minnesota.
Seattle, for all the reasons. Did you guys say Seattle already?
Yeah. Well, not. We both took Seattle, but not.
Yeah.
Not
I'll
on
take
this.
Seattle. Since you guys feel so confident, I believe in you guys.
First pick for the box, New York Giants.
Fuck you all.
Pick number 2 for the box, Kansas City Chiefs.
Fuck these
10.5
Giants.
against
I knew
the
it,
Broncos. Last pick, San Francisco 49ers against the Cardinals. Well, we'll see what happens. The Giants, do they have a quarterback? Do they not have a quarterback? Will they draft a quarterback? Remains to be seen. Who's going to make the decisions? Remains to be seen. Same thing with the Jets. Will Rodgers be back next year? Will he throw his 500th touchdown? Oh, so much up in the air for the last week of the season.
So much to watch. So much to get excited for.
Indeed.
The season never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it does end.
It will
It's ending
end.
now.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But we shall see what happens. Good luck to everybody out there with the bets. Another regular season in the books. Keep it going for the playoffs. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Until next week.
Right. Happy New Year.
Stay black.
Happy New Year.
New Year, not years.